Everybody, welcome back to another human form workout. As always, I'm doing 3 exercises for 15 minutes. You'll have a short little break. We'll do our next set for 15 minutes, another 3 things, and then we'll end the day with a finisher. So, we'll go over the first 3 things we're going to be doing, which is going to be a single leg squat. We're then going to get into a dumbbell or banded pullover, and then we're going to finish the first set out with a plank and some different variations of that. So let's talk about the first exercise, which is going to be the single leg squat. Again, if you're not doing single leg squats in class normally, then we're just going to do a regular goblet squat. So again, we're just bending at the knees, sitting to a box. If you need something to sit to, you can certainly do that. Or if you don't need anything, you can just do it to air. But if you're doing a goblet squat, we're going to shoot for about 10 to 12 reps for the goblet squat. If you are doing single leg squats, we're going to do the same way you do a goblet squat, just take away one of your legs, right? So I still have my 18-inch box behind me. This could be a chair or a couch, anything that is about whatever height you might need. I like to start with these seated, so I can find the range of motion that I'm going to be having, and my body gets comfortable with that. I'm going to pick whatever leg I want to start with. I'm going to choose my left leg to start with. So here, if you need to, use your hands for a little momentum. So I'm going to push my hands out, sit myself up, and I'm going to try to control my butt back down to the box. So here, I lift my leg. If I get a little bit this right leg working, so like hip flexor area, that's okay because you're holding your leg up in the air. So that's going to have to work there a little bit. So don't be afraid if you feel anything in there. So hands come out, standing up, pushing off with the heel. Again, I'm going to try to control my butt back down to the box, keeping this foot off, right? So hands come back out. I'm going to slowly try to control my best way. Try to control it the best way possible on the way down, and then again, come right back up. Okay, so again, nice and easy. You don't want to just plop down. If you find yourself doing this, okay, we want to try to control that as best as possible. You might need something to hold on to, so if you can set something up in your house where you have something to hold on to, and then you can kind of support yourself down, you can certainly do that. But again, you might want to just work on going up and not coming down. So you can always, if you're plopping, like here, just work on getting up, and then squat with 2 legs down to the box. And you can always just work on standing up from that position. If you're doing single leg, we're going to be doing 8 to 10 each leg, so make sure you're switching legs. And then we'll go ahead and get right on into the banded or dumbbell pullover. Everybody, we are down here on the floor getting ready to do some banded pullovers. Now, if you have a dumbbell, you can certainly do this with a dumbbell. You don't need to have it banded, but if you have only a band at home, you can certainly do it this way that I'm going to show you. Right now, I'm holding onto the band with 1 band in each of my hands. I choked up quite a bit on these to get some tension in them. How to set up for this is going to be the same way you kind of set up for a dead bug. I'm going to keep my feet on the floor for this one, so just how I am right now. I'm going to breathe in through my nose, trying to fill my belly up with air as much as possible. I'm going to breathe out. Make sure my shoulders stay down away from my neck. From here, now that my abs are set, I'm going to actually start the workout. So, breathing in again. I'm going to breathe out and pull the band down. So breathe out, all the way down to the floor. Again, keeping those shoulders down away from the neck. Breathe in. Come up, keep the tension in the band as you come up, and then I'm going to breathe out and come right back down. So we're focusing on finding some lats on the way down to the floor, keeping abs on, keeping your back flat, don't extend, right? So no low back helping us out here, especially when we're finding our lats. Your back is going to be tempted to help you, so make sure that does not happen. Okay, nice and controlled all the way through. Again, you might need to choke up a little bit on the band to make this a little harder for yourself. If you have to, you can always go a little lighter and make them easier. If you're doing these, we're going to shoot for about 10 to 12 reps of these. So again, we're pulling down, find lats, get those abs working, shooting for that 12 range if you can. If you need to use a heavier band or even the dumbbell, please do. And then we'll move on to our last variation, which is going to be a plank. All right, everybody, let's talk about some planks. So again, if you're doing a normal plank in class or no variations whatsoever, please continue to do so. So again, we're just holding onto our elbows and knees if you need to. You can go up onto your toes if you feel comfortable doing that. Again, just make sure we're not getting extended into the lower back, using that to help us out. You always want to tuck and make sure we're getting these abs to kick in, okay? So again, elbows should be drawing in, find some tension through here, definitely tension in your abs, no tension in the lower back, okay? If you are adding some variations of that, we're going to be doing some leg lifting, and then the next step above that, we're going to be doing some bird dog positioning, okay? So let's talk about the leg lift. Again, you can always go onto your elbows or your hands on these, depending on what feels best for you. I feel my abs more when I'm on my elbows. If you feel more when you're on your hands, great, you can do that. If you have wrist issues, you can always go up to your elbows. That's always an option. But again, we're just lifting a leg at a time. So no matter what variation you're doing of these planks, we're going to be doing them for 30 to 60 seconds, depending on what stage you're at. So just set a timer for yourself. Make sure you're breathing through all these motions, and then we'll just do whatever variation you're going to be doing. So again, no rep ranges here, just 30 to 60 seconds, and then we'll move on. Okay, so if you're doing the leg lift, okay, I'm going to do mine on my forearms. I'm going to tuck my butt. I'm going to find my lats. I'm going to get some tension in my abs by breathing. I'm then going to go up onto my toes. A nice deep breath in. As I breathe out, lifting a leg. Breathing in again, leg comes down, breathing out. The leg comes up. Okay, so I'm just going to alternate sides, left and right, for 30 to 60 seconds. If you want to go a step above that, we can always try the bird dog plank with a bird dog. So this one we'll have to get up into a plank position, so up into hand instead of the elbows. And now we're going to work on taking a hand and a foot away. Okay, so now we just did the leg lift. Now we're going to do the hand and leg. Okay, Michelle likes to give me the hard stuff. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in as I breathe out. Breathing in, okay, breathing out. Okay, switching sides, alternating again, 30 to 60 seconds on those, okay? After you get done with all three of these things for 15 minutes, like I said, I'll take our break, and we'll come back for the second set. So I'll see you guys in the B section. B section. So we're gonna start things out this time with a suitcase carry. So again, you're gonna kind of pick a destination. You're gonna walk to and back from that position. If you don't have anywhere to walk, we can always do these marching, which I'll show you actually in the video. But if you can walk, go for that, okay? Now getting into the suitcase carry, you want to make sure that not only the side with the weight is tight, but also the other side that doesn't have any weight in it at all. I'm going to make sure both lats are staying active and they're working. We want to make sure the abs are breathing, so we're going to be making sure we're breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth, all that good stuff. Keeping this engaged while we're walking. Okay, so good solid grip onto the kettlebell. Make sure thumb goes over fingers when you grab onto your weight, whether you use a dumbbell or a kettlebell, anything heavy, double bag, whatever you have at home. Just make sure that we are gripping tight onto those. We want to be working forearm here a little bit as well. So adding all that stuff together, lats stay tight. Think about you're squeezing your armpit next to your arm. Okay, so next to your in here. We're going to keep the other one tight as well. So if you have like a tennis ball or a baseball at home that you want to squeeze and make sure this one stays on the entire time, you can certainly do that. If you're marching, we're going to just stay in place. We're going to be lifting a leg up, getting that knee as high as you can make it. We're going to then slowly work the knee back down. Without shifting too much of your weight, we're going to try to lift the other side. Okay? So nice and easy. Control this as best as possible. We want to try to lift the knee up and away from the body. So what I mean by that is I'll turn to the side so you can see. I don't necessarily just want to just pick the knee up like this. I'm going to try to make it out in front. So then switching, knee comes out in front and back down. Okay. If you're doing these marching style, you can always do 8 to 10 aside. Again, if you're walking, it's going down and back from whatever objects you choose. If you're choosing an object, try to think about the human form and how long the turf is or how far away the mirror is away from you, and try to challenge yourself there, okay? Moving on from there, we're gonna go right ahead into a floor press, so let's go ahead and get into that. Everybody, let's go ahead and get into the floor press. So with these, we're gonna be doing 8 to 12 aside. Remember, you're gonna hit all one side first, then you're gonna switch over and get the other side going there. Again, when you're starting out with these, we're gonna start on your side. So you're gonna grab your dumbbell that you're using. We're going to start by laying on your side. Again, we want to limit the amount of this we're doing with the weight, so we don't want to be rotating with that shoulder. So we're going to grab onto the dumbbell. We're then going to go onto your back. When you're on your back here, we're going to just lift the dumbbell up into the air over your chest. So go ahead and press the dumbbell up over your chest. We're then going to slowly work the dumbbell down to the floor, and then again, right back up over your chest. Okay, so again, focusing on finding your pec. Again, nice and slow. Nice and easy. as you do that. Hit both sides, 8 to 12. All right, after that nice and easy set of floor presses, we're gonna go ahead and get into the long lever glute bridge. So this one's gonna be focusing a little bit more on the hamstring than it is a glute. You might still get a little bit of glute, but you'll definitely be feeling a lot more hamstring on this one here, okay? So let's talk about these. Setting yourself up. Long lever means we're gonna be a little bit farther away from the box than normally. Normally for a normal glute bridge, we might be at a 90-degree angle. So knees about here. Today, we're going to move it out a little bit. Okay, now the farther out my butt goes away from the box, the more I'm gonna feel these in the hamstrings. So depending on how hard you wanna make these, you can always move farther and farther away. But the idea is going to be the same way we do a glute bridge. We're gonna tuck the hips. We're going to engage the abs, so make sure we're breathing into your belly. Right, breathing out. We're gonna lift. I'm gonna hold here at the top just for a couple seconds. Get feeling those hamstrings. Slowly work it down. Again, breathing out. In, and then get out. So again, we're gonna be going up and down. We're gonna shoot about 12 to 15 reps of these. If you wanna make these a tad bit harder, you can always stay at the top. And then from here, we're going to lift 1 foot off, back down, 1 foot off, back down. So we're kind of alternating and marching those. If you're doing something like that, I would suggest maybe 8 to 10 each leg. Again, keeping your butt in the air the entire time. If you need to reset, if you feel you're getting into your lower back, please do that. But if you can't stay in the air the entire time, great. If both those options are a little bit too challenging, we can always bring it back into a normal glute bridge. And instead of doing a glute, we're gonna put your heels on the edge of the box, and we're gonna just lift from that position there. Okay, that'll ease off the hamstring a little bit, but still get them to work just as much. Okay, so slowly working it down, and then again, right back up. Again, shooting for about 12 to 15. If you're doing the marching version, we'll shoot for about 8 or 10. Okay, we'll do that all the 3 of these things for 15 minutes. And then again, at the end of this one, nice little break, and then we'll go right into today's finisher. All right, everybody, finisher time. So 3 things for your finisher today. We have a mountain climber. We're doing 20 each leg for that one. We're doing a kettlebell swing or RDL, 10 for those. And then we're gonna go ahead and finish out today with a skier, 10 aside, okay? So let's talk about the mountain climber. Again, I have a box here, so you can certainly use a box or a bench or a chair at home. If you want to use that, if you don't want to use that, then we'll go ahead and go onto the floor. But still getting into a plank position, we're going to get into a plank, right? So we don't want to be way out here. We're going to be close in. So mountain climber, bringing those knees up nice and high. Again, 20 a leg for the mountain climber. From there, we're gonna go ahead and get into a skier. So again, 10 aside. So when you're doing these skiers, remember you're gonna go as low as you can. So we're bending the hip here. We're going to go as wide and get as low as we can, okay? So working on 10 aside from there. When you're done with that one, we're gonna go right into either a kettlebell swing or an RDL. Okay? So kettlebell swings. Again, we're hiking the kettlebell back behind you. If you're doing these in class, you should know how to do them. We're going to then push through, find your butt, belt comes out, and again, going right back in. If you're just doing the RDLs, that's fine. We'll go RDL, and we'll shoot for 10 there.